The board welcomes public participation and asks that the comments be limited to 3 minutes. The public may offer objective comments of school operations and programs that concern them. The board will not permit any expression of personal complaints or defamatory comments about Board of Education personnel and students, nor against any person connected with Danbury Public School System. Margie?
Good evening. My name is Mark Jewett. I live in Brookfield, at 26 Mill Road. I have 3 children that have all attended the Academy for International Studies. I'm an instructional coach in Brookfield, in Brookfield Public Schools. My purpose for speaking tonight is to ask why the 5th grade graders at AAS are not attending the Nature's Classroom for a week at the end of the school year this year. I'm seeking leadership from the Danbury Board of Education, as none has been given to us from Principal Jackson or Superintendent Walston. My wife has sent emails to both. Principal Jackson will not answer questions, direct questions about why the trip has been changed from 1 week to a day. And my wife wrote Superintendent Walston 2 weeks ago asking for guidance and was not replied. So I'd like you to please consider the following. The day that a student steps foot in Danbury, the AAS school, they're given a promise. And every student knows this promise and talks to their parents about it for the years that they're there. My wife, Gisette, has been one of those supporters. She's been part of the PTO for the better part of 10 years, as well as PTO president and treasurer for some of those years. She worked with and supported our last principal, Principal Roach, on so many different initiatives. I work at but missing out on that trip is what they talked about. And the next year, COVID persisted, and they lost out on their trip again, and that's what they talked about. And however, last year, we truly focused on what was best for our students, and we found ways to make it work. Some of the teachers were scared, parents were scared, costs were inflated, we had everything working against us, but we worked through each obstacle, and that's what leaders do. We traveled to DC for 3 days with our 145 8th graders, and for those 3 days in May, COVID disappeared, and because of it, our kids got to see the Declaration of Independence, touch the Lincoln Memorial, and now as freshmen, when they look back at middle school, that's what they talk about. At AAS, parents are offering support. They've even begun fundraising, and before the surprising news of Nature's Classroom, they had begun fundraising, and the experience, before the surprising news of our Nature's Classroom experience was sent out, we even held a spaghetti dinner at AAS where we had as many as 400 people in attendance. And so I asked, when do we start to give back to our children and things that they lost during COVID? I have some suggestions for you, but I don't want to go over my time. So in lieu of giving those suggestions, I just want to say I expect more from leadership than mitigated speech and avoidance or non-response. And I expect them to do what's best for students while taking into consideration the teachers and the parents. I would hope that as a board you work to promote field trips and enriching experience for our students through policy, contract negotiations, and possibly reward the people that look to do these experiences, mostly our teachers that put these things together and put in that time. I'll close by asking this. Why are we taking away a program where, in the words of the website, students develop a sense of community, a confidence in themselves, and an appreciation for others that is carried with it back to the school community? It really is an experience that way. I hope that some of you here will step forward as leaders and help keep the promises we made to our 5th graders at AAS. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Chloe?
evening, Danbury Board of Education members. My name is Chloe Jewett. I am a 5th grade student at AIS. I would like to ask you to think about letting us go to Nature's Classroom for a week at the end of this school year. When I heard we weren't going to Nature's Classroom for a week, I felt really bad. But I didn't just feel bad for me, I also felt bad for my classmates. There are only 56 of us in the 5th grade, and we've been together since kindergarten. When I told my brother about how sad I When COVID ended last year, we knew we'd be the first class in 3 years to go to Nature's Classroom. When they told us we were only going for 1 day, some of us were upset and some of us were mad. But all of us thought it wasn't fair. I tried to do something about it. I made this petition with my grandmother's help. But they made me put it away. And some of my friends were told that they'd get in trouble if they signed it. There are 12 signatures on it. I want to be a leader for my classmate. So that's why I came here. My dad told me that leadership isn't easy. And if I came here to talk, maybe someone would listen. Please let us go to Nature's Classroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. You are a great leader. Thank you. Great job. Moving on to consent calendar. Lauren, would you make that motion?
I make a motion that the Board of Education approve the items on the consent calendar, exhibits 22-131 through 22-134 as recommended.
Second. Seconded by Kate. Any discussion?
Thank you.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries unanimously. Consent calendar, does that include the donation, or should we read that as a separate motion? It includes it, okay. All right. Thank you. Do we have any student representatives? It looks like no, okay. Action item A then. Gladys, would you do the honors of making that motion?
Action item A. I move that the Board of Education approve the superintendent goals 2022-2023 in accordance with Exhibit 22-135.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Seconded by Kate. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries unanimously. Action B. Al, would you do that?
October 2022. Board of Education accept the October 2022 financial report in accordance with Exhibit 22-136.
Second.
Seconded by Gladys.